Hello, I'm Shayla Mabey from the Seneca Nation Health System. I am the Chief Operating Officer. The Seneca Nation Health System's Good Health and Wellness in Indian Country program and Gakwi Farms are excited to introduce traditional baby foods White Corn Mush. The GHWIC program focuses on keeping women and babies safe and healthy, as well as supporting breastfeeding as babies' first foods. As our babies begin to transition to other foods, it is important to provide traditional foods that support Seneca culture and babies' health. Haudenosaunee have been growing corn for thousands of years. Today, it remains as one of the main foods we continue to grow and enjoy with our families and at community gatherings. The Thanksgiving address describes our relationship with the natural world, that all parts of the universe are related. The plants, corn, beans, and squash, also called sustainers of life, are referred to as the three sisters. These plants provide food for us, and for that we give respect and are thankful for them. In Seneca, it is called
Oneogen.
White corn is harvested, braided, and set to dry for 2 to 3 months. Once the corn is dried, it can be prepared for processing. There are many benefits to white corn. It is hand-grown, hand-picked, and hand-processed. It is non-GMO, gluten-free, and has a low glycemic index. White corn is a good source of vitamins, minerals, and dietary fiber, potassium, vitamin C, iron, magnesium, various B vitamins, copper, selenium, and phosphorus, and is low in sodium and fat. Its nutritional value per 1 tablespoon serving is approximately 32 calories. Adding 1 tablespoon of mashed banana will add approximately 13 calories. You may be wondering if your baby is ready to start eating foods other than breast milk or formula. They are likely ready when your baby is 6 months old and you notice the following. They can sit up with support and hold their head steady. They put their fingers in their mouth. They open their mouth, letting you know they want food. They close their lips over the spoon. They keep food in their mouth and swallow. If your baby was born early or has a family history of allergies, talk to your healthcare provider before starting any foods. Usually, first foods you feed your baby is cereal. After that, single ingredient fruits and vegetables are introduced and are prepared in stages, starting with pureed or smooth. From there, you can move on to giving mashed, then on to finely chopped and tiny pieces of soft foods. Be sure to introduce only 1 food a week so that if baby has any allergies, you will know which food it was. Making your own baby food is easier than you think, and by doing so you can save money, have control over the variety and texture of food, and be confident you're giving your baby the best food available. However, food safety is important, and you should be sure to be clean. Babies are more likely to get sick from foodborne illness than older children and adults. Before and after preparing baby foods, wash hands, utensils, equipment, and work areas with soap and hot water. It is also important to remember the following. Do not add honey to baby's food because it can cause a very serious illness. Do not add salt, sugar, syrups, spices, ketchup, or extra fat like oil, butter, or cream to foods prepared for babies. Too much salt can actually be harmful for babies' kidneys. Sugar is harmful because it is refined by chemical processes. It causes tooth decay and it may suppress immunity. Children fed with a high sugar diet are prone to cardiovascular, diabetes, and obesity. You likely already have all the equipment you will need to make baby food, and common cooking utensils can be used to process food into the right texture. Useful utensils include a blender or food processor to puree foods to a very smooth consistency, a fine mesh strainer to puree soft foods or very ripe fruits and some vegetables, by pushing the food through the strainer with the back of a spoon. A baby food grinder or food mill to puree most foods to a smooth texture and pureed meats to a coarser texture. A kitchen fork or knife can be used for older babies, as foods can be mashed with a fork or finely chopped with a knife. Other materials you will need include a bowl, large spoons. Be sure to use different utensils and cutting boards for meats, fruits, vegetables, and breads. In a small saucepan, bring 1 cup of water to a boil. Shut the stove off and add 3/4 of a cup of Iroquois white corn flour. Stir until all is mixed. Turn the heat back on low and simmer for a minimum of 5 minutes. For a thinner consistency, add breast milk, infant formula, or plain water to the cooked mush. You can also add 1 small mashed banana to the white corn mush. Before serving, allow the food to cool for 10 to 15 minutes so that it does not burn the baby's mouth. Using a clean spoon, test the temperature of the food before feeding it to your baby. When an infant is ready to begin complementary foods, start with small servings of 1 to 2 teaspoons of individual foods once a day and gradually increase the serving size to 2 to 4 tablespoons or more per feeding. A 4 to 6 month old infant may start out with 1 meal per day, including complementary foods, and then gradually work to about 3 meals and 2 to 3 snacks per day. Throw out any uneaten leftover food in the baby's dish and don't let freshly cooked foods stand at room temperature for more than 2 hours. If considering storing the prepared baby food, you can refrigerate or freeze homemade baby foods immediately after cooking. You will first need a jar. Cover or wrap all foods that are to be refrigerated and label with the date and time they were prepared. Use refrigerated, freshly prepared corn mush within 48 hours. For freezing the corn mush in serving size quantities, pour cooked corn mush into ice cube tray. Cover with plastic wrap and freeze. Once frozen solid, place frozen food pieces in a labeled freezer container or a freezer bag in the freezer. Use frozen food within 1 month. To thaw frozen corn mush, place in the refrigerator for 48 hours. Thoroughly reheat refrigerated baby foods before feeding them to your baby. Stir the food and test its temperature with a clean spoon. Throw out any uneaten leftover food in the baby's dish. It is important that you do not refreeze thawed baby food. Thank you for your participation in our traditional baby foods program. We hope this experience has provided you increased knowledge and skills to support your baby's health and the Seneca culture. Keep an eye out for future videos and opportunities. Nyawe.